This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works, understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.
Upgrade to Lime! It's Tuesday, January 20th, and it's time for your Barbados Today evening update. I'm Kmar Jordan. Glad you could join us. We begin with news that Barbadians could soon have to dig deeper into their pockets to clear barrels at the Bridgetown port. This as the government prepares to implement a new fee structure at the port. The changes could see residents paying a new $25 charge for each barrel containing personal effects. At the same time, the authorities are planning to remove the $45 fee charged on local exports, as well as the export sugar levy. However, master stevedores and ship agents could be forced to pay as much as $500 for new licenses. Ton duties, container fees, tour operator fees could also be affected. Tourism Minister Richard Seeley made the announcements as he tabled the amended Barbados Port Inc. Transfer and Management of Vesting of Assets Bill in Parliament today. He said overall, the government is hoping to raise $15 million. The changes require the approval of the Senate to be passed into law. Meantime, the opposition Barbados Labour Party declares it will not tarnish the reputation of Parliament as it urges House Speaker Michael Carrington to recuse himself until a matter relating to his conduct has been resolved. Mr. Carrington is embroiled in a legal dispute with a former client, and the Committee of Privileges of Parliament is to determine if any action is to be taken against him. Standing on the steps of the House today, Opposition Leader Mia Motley suggested too much is at stake, while insisting her party will not offend the dignity of Parliament by attending sittings of the House once the embattled Speaker is in the chair.
The opposition will turn up for work every time Parliament is called. We will be in the precincts, but we will not sit in the chamber as long as the Speaker is there until this matter is resolved. If it is the Deputy Speaker and we have to walk the stairs 10 times a day, we will walk the stairs 10 times a day and get the exercise. If it is the Chairman of Committees and the Committee of Supply, we will be there. And if there are matters on which our voice ought to be heard, and for whatever reason they're not being heard because of him being in the chair, we will speak to the public directly. This is not the only medium through which the opposition's views will be heard.
Ms. Motley also raised concern about what she called the increasing decimation of the country's institution. She says the BLP will not be silent on this worrying trend.
We will be holding a public meeting on Sunday night in St. Michael West, not to get into what the Committee of Privileges will deal with, but to address this whole issue of the downgrading and decimation of institutions, and that at some point people of Barbados have to stand up for what is right. We would have hoped, I would have hoped, that the Speaker would have done what I believe to have been right for him to do. When these issues appear, sometimes you don't only deal with what the law or the rules say, but you step back and remove yourself to allow the institution not to be the subject of negative comment. I would have hoped that that is the case. You can't spend hundreds of thousands of taxpayers' dollars promoting 375 years to the world and then not do what I believe to be the right thing.
Meantime, former Prime Minister Owen Arthur is not celebrating Cable and Wireless's buyout of Flow. In fact, he suggests the region is still to reap the full benefits of a liberalized telecommunications sector.
More, and that's why I'm saying we have to understand what forms of liberalization we want to embrace and how to manage it. That in that sector that is of such strategic importance, any new tendencies that lead to the consolidation of the relationship, I think, is not in the best interest of the Caribbean. I really feel so. And that, remember what I said? Fastest, deepest possible liberalization. I believe that in all key sectors of the Caribbean that are of strategic importance, where you don't have to be protecting the vulnerable, for example, that the more we have, the better.
Mr. Arthur was speaking in Port of Spain, Trinidad. Barbados and Nigeria have agreed to expand the local leg of the Delta State Empowerment Program, which has been shrouded in controversy for just over a month now. Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Maxine McLean met with the visiting Deputy Governor of the Delta State University, Professor Amos Agbe Utwama, this morning. The two officials said both countries are interested in strengthening ties and building the inaugural program, under which 90 Nigerian students are here to pursue a 9-month course of study in agriculture, hospitality and tourism at the Barbados Community College. Some students have been complaining of poor accommodation and bad food ever since they've been housed at Casa Grande Hotel in Old Bray St. Philip, but the Nigerian official says the issues are close to being resolved.
We are resolving them. We have agreed to resolve them for the mutual benefit of the program. The only thing that is remaining is for our consultant to implement the agreement for the resolution of the issues. Yes.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
To regional news now, the Dominica government temporarily stops issuing visas to Haitians as part of moves to tighten its immigration policy. National Security Minister Raymond Blackmore insists the move is not a ban. He explains it's intended to address challenges within the immigration system. On the international scene, militia fighters bombarded the private residence of the Yemeni president today in an effort to overthrow the government. The action comes one day after guards loyal to the president fought artillery battles near the presidential palace with the powerful Houthi movement. The two sides are at odds over political and constitutional issues. 9 people were killed and 90 wounded in Monday's clashes.
The presidential palace has fallen to what she described as the Houthis. That's the rebel movement here, a collection of tribesmen and militia who've swept across the capital in the past few months and are increasingly, it seems today, intent on exercising power here in the capital. She called what is happening now the continuation of a coup, said that the president has no control at all. She also went on to say that he is in his residence at this stage, shooting from the rooftops down to the street outside that residence. She doesn't believe his life is in danger, but she went on to say that she believes he should step down because effectively, if he remains in power, he will effectively be a figurehead for the Houthis, who she says seek to run the country. Now, I should point out we haven't heard the Houthi side of the story here yet. They are clearly angry at what they consider to be a constitution that is unfair towards them, that was going to be introduced, and they also said when the fighting started at the presidential administration that in fact it was they who were attacked.
And on that note, we end our Barbados Today evening update. We'll be back again on Thursday morning. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. Subscribe to our e-paper or email updates, or better yet, you can like us on Facebook. You can also catch us if you're out and about on Izumi Media in bus terminals or by screenplay at a supermarket or a gas station near you. Also tune in to channel 101, that's on Lime TV, to get all the very latest news and sports. I also want to say a special shout out to all of those listening to us on Mix FM. Continue to be locked on. I'm Kmar Jordan. Enjoy your Arrow Bar holiday, and we'll see you back here on Thursday morning.
This news update is brought to you by...
Everyone's looking for more space.
How many pairs of shoes do you need?
Closet space.
Circle again, I think I see one.
Parking space.
And that is how Pythagoras' theorem works. Understand?
Even headspace. But when it comes to data storage, MyCloud from Lime has plenty of room for you. Upgrade to a Lime data plan of 500 megs or more and get 3 gigs of MyCloud data storage free. It's great for storing photos, music, and much more. So don't delete it. Store it on MyCloud from Lime. It's the only space to be.